I was just asking if I am audible or not.
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll just give one more minute and we start when everyone is here. Meanwhile, if anybody have specific questions, I think this is the time you can raise your hands and then we'll go through around in the queue. Okay, I see Animesh Lal Sarma has requested for can we change the Git repo after the deadline? I don't think that is possible. Anyways, I'll let Jivraj speak on that, whether we can change the Git repo after the deadline. Yeah, Jivraj, maybe now we are not able to hear you if you are speaking.
No, I'm just thinking, should we allow changing GitHub
No, I
or
think
not?
already the deadline's been extended. I think it's extended still today, right? So you still have time. I think if, right now, if you see the TDS, the deadline is basically end of day today. So any changes which you would want to make in the Git repo, I think this is the right time.
Yeah. Yeah. So if they can modify Git repo, then deployment can also be redo. So eventually the deadline will be according to them only. So I don't think it should be.
Yep. Okay. And I see Nitish Kumar, is there any chance to increase AI pipe limit as you have reached? We have, I mean, this morning we did have a discussion and then we didn't find anybody has breached out their AI pipe limit. Hrithik, we were discussing about this of late, right? Do you have...
Yeah. So during evaluation, we will increase. We will refill. If before evaluation, we will refill the AI pipe token.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding the project. Sir, actually, when converting JSON to MB, it says that it has reached the maximum retries, maximum retries exceeded for the conversion as well as for embeddings. And now that when I'm testing the image with curl, it is showing the same prompt, max retries exceeded.
I'm not exactly able to understand where you are facing this issue of maximum extra.
So when writing the embeddings function, we wrote a function for retries after 1 second, after 2 seconds, after 4 seconds. So that function.
Okay, what are you using right now?
Yes, sir.
What are you using right now?
Just
No,
checking curl command.
I'm asking about the provider. Are you using Gemini or AI proxy or AI pipe?
Using Gemini. Actually, the resources are exhausting, and so it is not able to embed all the.
Gemini has daily limits, so if you exhaust, then it will say that it exhausted. It has hourly limits also. You can see under the pricing.
Yeah,
So
actually.
one tip from my side: if you are doing local testing, then do the Olama thing for shortcut. And after testing, just deploy app with the AI pipe token or open API keys. Yeah, Jivraj has pasted one link. There is some rate limit. So after that, it got reset for Gemini.
Ritik sir. Hello,
Yes.
sir. I just have one question. I was messaging on the Discourse also. I have used the Open AI Gemini and API org key. Okay, YAML file is working, but the one you have supplied in the what do you call the today mail, in that one we are using AI proxy. Okay, so
Yeah.
my question is that if YAML file is working, if we are running the YAML file with the npx command, everything is working. So it is we are good to go, or there is something changes still we need to make.
YAML file working, it means you have configured YAML file correctly. It doesn't mean that your project submission is working fine. So how to check your project submission is working fine? You can test that YAML file to your projects, or you can do the curl command to your project
Sir, that
to
one
check.
also done. Sir, that one YAML file I check in my project also. I transfer it to some, like my place right now is in Qatar. So I give it to somebody who is in Delhi, somebody who is in Kerala. I give it to them also my API code. They also check it is working. They can access it. Everything is fine. Tests are passing. Okay.
Yeah, so it means your API will respond in the correct format, and how it will perform based on that your scoring will be done.
Yeah. The only thing is that, sir, in the YAML file provided by the IITM, there is one slight error is there.
Yeah, that you have to fix on your own. That is the error. Maybe we should have one mark on that this is not the correct one. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but the if mail part is working, the curl command is working, then your
Yeah.
project is fine.
Sir, can I ask something?
Yeah.
Really quick.
So, sir, the YAML file, if YAML file is working, we don't have to test the thing that you have supplied in the mail today, right?
What mail you are talking? The YAML mail, right?
No, you have given some
Yeah.
URL
So,
today. That
Gaurav,
one. Yeah, yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
yeah, good evening. So to answer your question, yes, you don't have to test it with that. That was just given as something to help people who had
Thank you so
trouble
much, sir.
configuring.
Case
Okay.
closed.
Okay.
Thank you
Sir,
so much, sir.
I have a question similar to this. Uh, so basically, what happened when I tested with the website that was supplied in the mail? So it gave as wrong, like the third question or the second last question, which was that the GS score should be like GS score should be 110, okay, on the dashboard. So my answer was not coming. So I changed my code and then retested it. But the website is still giving the same answer. But if I test it with curl, or like I download the YAML file and test it by myself, the answer is coming to be correct. So what likely is happening is because npx promptful is giving the answer from the cache. So I just want a simple query that when you are testing on your end, will no cache be run with the npx command? Because
Right.
Yeah, Jivraj, you want to answer that question?
Let me just check if we are ignoring the cache.
I can show it if you let me screen share, I can show what the issue is happening. If you
No, I got what you are trying to say.
Yeah, so basically npx is again and again answering from the cache itself, and not like, but if I use that no cache, like I tested it offline also, if I use the old code which was giving error, so then it will give error. But if I rerun the server with correct code, it will still be giving the wrong answer from the cache. But if I add dash dash no dash cache at the end of the command, then it will correct the answer. So
Yeah, Shivashish, that's correct. If you put dash dash no dash cache, it will run it correctly. There might be a secondary issue because it's a hosted promptful solution. It might be that um, that the application is the web server part of it is probably being cached somewhere.
caching it
Yeah,
also. Yeah, so like
yeah,
double cached,
yes.
basically.
So there might be that issue, but we are aware of the no cache when we did. I mean, I haven't specifically tested the portal application, but I don't think that is personally, I don't think it's been incorrectly configured, because we have done testing of it locally and seen that, like
So
you said, that is a
basically,
correct option.
if
So
if I code is giving no cache, like right answer on the local and not on the website, so that means my code is fine. Like the answer
yeah,
that is
yeah,
expected is
yeah,
fine,
yeah.
right?
The code is fine. See, the main thing is just to see if
Uh,
you're
one
able to get
second.
a response back out of it, and the
One
fact that you're
second.
getting responses means that it is okay.
So basically, my code was not returning this thing. Like, let me reformat this. Like something like answer of like this. This is not the correct format, but my answer is now returning this thing,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
part of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now it is passing the case. So that
Yeah.
means the code now is fine, right?
Yeah. See, one thing I will warn you against: don't try and make everything fit the current YAML file. Okay, because that's like trying to overfit. You know about overfitting and underfitting.
Yeah, yeah. I know
So
this is
yeah,
part of the, like all the answer, but I
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
wanted to show
So
that this thing is contained in the answer now,
sure, sure. Yeah,
which was
understood.
not there earlier.
Yeah, yeah. We will do robust testing of our private test cases before we use them for evaluation. We are not going to use this exact same YAML file anyway.
Yeah,
So it'll be a completely new set of questions. It'll be validated, and we'll do some robust testing before we actually run evaluations.
and also the
So
YAML file was like a part of it is wrong. It's not. It keeps trying to connect with Open API key. That also will be fixed in the new YAML, right?
so this particular solution was for people who like couldn't configure their YAML file correctly. So that's why we need a token, because we can't use our token to test everyone else's. So if 500 people submitted it, for argument's sake, then we can't be running tests, 500
Yeah,
tests
yeah,
on
yeah.
our tokens, right?
Obviously,
So
obviously.
that's why we required a token.
So all in
And
all, if your local is running and the answer is like how the YAML file is configured, like for example, if the YAML file is expecting a answer should contain dashboard should show 210, for example, and
yeah,
if my answer is contains then that means the answer is right, the code is right.
correct,
Okay,
absolutely.
thank you.
The
That was all.
only thing to be careful of is, for some people, they may have a CORS issue or something. This will highlight those problems if it occurs.
Okay, so uh, course issue, another thing, if I am submitting on the submission page, if I'm submitting and it is giving as correct while the code is running, so that means the course issue is not there, right? Like if I'm getting the responses everywhere.
Yeah, the best thing I can suggest is ask a friend to test it.
Okay, I have tested from another laptop. Is
Yeah,
that fine?
yeah, that's
So yeah, I'm getting from another laptop also, because I have hosted it on AWS.
okay.
Thank you. That was all. Thank you. Good evening and have a nice night or day.
Yeah, you too. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Ritik.
So I got that mail, but I'm not being able to open it, that endpoint anywhere. It doesn't have a UI or something. So how are we supposed to test using it? Like, I'm making curl commands, so I'm asking random questions which like we would have in general, like how to prepare for ROE and everything. And the endpoint is answering what is required with multiple links as well. So it is working in practice, but how to test using this endpoint which has been given?
Yeah, Jivraj, you want
YAML.
to answer that question?
Yeah, sure. So this is the endpoint that is there. In the mail, I think there was one mistake. Over here, instead of a dot, it was a colon. Over here also, it was a colon.
Okay, it is
And-
supposed to be dot, huh?
Yes. That might be the reason you are not able to access this.
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
And then how to use it? Instructions are given over here.
Uh,
Okay.
Okay, one more thing. AI proxy key, can it be reset? So for some reason, like I have multiple testing points as well. When I made the file, I made a health check, I made a quota status something, right? So when I'm trying to get a, quota status kind of thing, my application is saying that I have enough quota available, but when I'm actually checking the AI proxy usage, it is very high, right? Because the embedding which I created, right, I did a lot of tried to do a lot of optimization. Because of that, the embedding size was like 11 MB, but it took a lot of tokens for some reason, right? Uh, so so can he, although it is working and it is responding right now, can the AI proxy thing be looked into? Like there should be enough token for evaluation.
Yeah, so we will be before evaluation, we will raise the limits.
Okay.
Limit raising is for AI proxy or AI pipe?
Whichever token they're using, right? So either way, they will the limits will be raised anyway. We'll
Yes,
keep we will keep a log. We'll keep a log of any responses that came up saying that the usage. It usually gives a message, right, saying that limits have been reached or something like that. So we'll keep a log of those, and any users that we encounter that issue with, we'll have a second look at it to see if it really is a limit reached because of the tokens we have provided, or it is something else. We will check. We will reissue if necessary and raise the limit, and then we'll run the evaluation.
Okay, okay, that is very good. Thank you. How to test that thing which Devaraj was telling about?
Yeah, just you put your API endpoint in that site, and once you put the API endpoint, you give your AI proxy key.
I'm actually very scared about the token limit, because everything is working, but it is saying that I used $3. Although for several months I've not used anything, but yes, still.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, that's the only way we can test it, right? We can't give you our keys. So we can, that's all I can say. Yeah.
Okay, so I do my endpoint and it will work.
Yeah. The other thing to note is that YAML testing is only 4 test cases there, so it's not going to use a lot of tokens.
Okay.
When we checked it out, I think roughly to run the YAML about 1,000 some tokens probably it uses, so it's not a lot.
Can I share my JSON? I don't know, like the response I'm getting. I think it is fine, but let me just.
Okay. So meanwhile, while you're getting that ready, if anyone else has a question.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. You're on.
Sir, when I'm running my YAML file, I'm getting error. This one, your authentication token is not from a valid issuer. Why this error is coming?
It's because your YAML file is not configured correctly.
Okay, just because of the configuration.
Correct.
So there are two things, no? One is URL, one is token. So suppose you have password and username, but you don't have the account name, whether it is Instagram or Facebook, then how will you can use that? So similarly, token you have, now you need to specify whether you are using AI pipe proxy, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever.
So that means I have to mention in that file all these things.
Yeah, there is documentation on promptful's website how to configure it for custom AI provider. So in this case, in our particular situation, we are using, if you're using the free token, this issue only affects those who use the free token, as in the one we provide. Yeah,
No,
because
sir,
what happens?
but I'm using that Anand sir token.
Yeah, that's what. It's free to you, right? That token that is provided. So it only occurs for those people because we are using a custom AI workflow. So what happens is
You're using the DigitalOcean GenAI key framework or something, because the kind of keys that generates, right, across shared models, it is same format, because it starts as SK, right?
it's not necessarily DigitalOcean. I've seen the code myself. It generates it using JavaScript and a library.
Or maybe DigitalOcean is using the same library.
Yeah, it's likely that DigitalOcean is using the same library.
So, sir, we should use GenAI API key then.
No. What I'm trying to say is
Yes.
the key that we have provided, right? Although it provides you the same functionality as OpenAI, we have actually created the key. That key has not been created by OpenAI. And I've explained this in one of the sessions, the earlier sessions, like session 1, session 2, like that. Um, exactly how this workflow works. So I don't want to get into the too much of the details of it. But the main issue is if the key has been given to you by OpenAI itself, the company, right, who make ChatGPT, then you don't have to do any extra configuration because that configuration is standard for them. But if you're using a custom provider, which is what we are providing you access to a GPT using our own keys, then you have to configure the YAML file correctly so that you can use the key as well as the right URL for the provider, which is what is
Okay.
given in the documentation.
Very quick question. Does this evaluation tool need AI pipe or AI proxy or any?
So, Tanya, did you get what I was saying? That is a
No, sir.
configuration issue. Sorry?
No, sir, I didn't get it.
Okay. What's the best way to explain it? Okay, I'll come back to you in just a minute. Meanwhile, we can take some other questions. I'll come back to you in just a minute.
Okay, sir.
Sir, I have a quick question. While submitting the project, what if the Git hub that we are submitting is different from the Git on which our Versal deployment is running? Will there be a problem in that? I mean, like, do we need to submit the same Git with which our Versal is working?
So the Versal that you're doing is probably a subset, right? It's like a smaller set of files or something, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. As long as those same files are there in your original Git, as in the Git is a superset of your Versal, then it's fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I just had a doubt.
Yeah, go on.
So the curl request is returning correct for me, and on the like on the evaluation script that is given, it's not coming like 110 for the test case. It's coming for the curl request and not for the Hugging, like the prompt that was given for us to evaluate.
Don't worry too much about the prompt pool. As long as some cases are passing and some response you're getting, some valid response you're getting, that means your configuration is okay. That prompt pool file is not the ultimate evaluation. It's just been given as some help to check and see if your application is responding as expected. Okay, because even if you get 100 out of 100 in that file, it's not going to make any difference because we will run our own private test cases. So don't worry too much about the fact that currently at the moment it's not giving you 110, even though your response is as 110. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, so the curl request is giving, the prompt foo is not giving. So should I not be worried, or should I
Same
just?
for me.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. If you're getting the correct response from your curl command, then it'll be fine.
Sir, I'm also getting correct command through you curl command.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as it works through the curl and some cases of the prompt foo file passes.
No,
Okay,
sir,
so
I'm not
will there
getting
be
any
partial
case.
marking for the test cases?
Sorry?
Will there be partial marking for the test cases?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. That will be great.
Suhaini, yeah, you can go next. Suhaini or Suhani?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I ran the curl request locally, like through the terminal, and I'm getting that no relevant answer could be found. It's giving me a response, but it's not the response which I want. Like it's giving me no relevant data found for this question or something like that.
Is it for all the test cases or just one of them?
No, I asked like random questions myself, and it's giving. I asked really generic questions about TDS, and it should
Okay.
give me at least some answer, but it's giving me no data found on this. So I asked ChatGPT. It said that maybe lower the threshold value at 0, but the threshold value is already 0.68, which is very low.
Yeah, it must be the way you have designed your RAG application. Most likely there is some kind of logic error in your application, RAG that you have created.
Okay, sir, I used ChatGPT to debug it, but I've been doing that for hours, and I'm still not able to get where it went wrong.
Did you watch the sessions, the project sessions?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and you were not able to recreate the project from the sessions?
I'm not sure I did it right, so I'll maybe try again.
Yeah, because it sounds to me like it's some logic error. Jivraj or Hrithik, can you give some suggestions that might help?
And one more thing, sir, I also used promptful, and like I'm getting this error in promptful also, that I'm getting another error in promptful. It's saying no files found for variable image in the
Yeah,
first question itself.
yeah. So there is some logic error in your actual project itself. That's why it's not working. There's no point. See, there's no point running the promptful until you get at least some sort of reasonable expected response from your application itself. So there is some logical error in your application that's causing it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, while submitting the URL on the like portal, it says fail to fetch. But
It needs to
prompt4 is running
validate.
okay. Prompt4 is running okay, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Whoever wants to answer the question can answer it. Yeah.
Akbar, have you tried the curl command?
Sir, curl command working, prompt4 working, but when I'm putting the URL on the portal, it's saying fail to fetch.
You have to enable
Yeah.
prompts.
Maybe one cars issue is there.
Sir, actually the thing is, I cleared prompt4 and curl command using a personal API key because my API key is a limit has reached. It is
Yeah,
not
that is
renewing.
not that is not the issue. The main thing is there is you're having a course problem on your application. That's why it's getting failed to fetch. If you add the course middleware for your service, then it will work okay.
So where to add that middleware? Like in my code.
Course.
In your fast API, you need to add the cars middleware. If you're hosting it in Hugging Face, you also need to add proxy middleware.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And one more thing, one student have message and disposed several posts that everything worked, but it is saying failed to fetch. And when Jivraj tried to fetch from his local machine, he is getting method not allowed. So try to test first using curl carefully. Everyone.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a very good point. So sometimes you might have put a get method instead of a post method in your function endpoint, and then that's also another reason why it will fail. So that's a very good point.
Is the okay? Sorry, Ravi has to ask first, right?
Ravi, go ahead.
Sir, can you answer my question in chat?
Yeah, I mean, 75% accuracy is fine. The point is that we know that your application is responding to the promptful file. It's being fetched across the internet. It's not being fetched locally, in other words. So we know that the deployment is correct. It's responding correctly, and it's it's producing an output that promptful is expecting. So that's fine.
Okay, so this promptful file on the in this evaluation page, right? Is it having right questions? Because like one of the questions I'm seeing is, what is the when is the end term for September 2025?
Right. So I'll stop you straight away. Don't worry about this public promptful file. Right.
Okay.
It was not heavily validated before being created. Right. It was just given as an aid to make sure that your application is running as expected. So that's why the promptful file was given, because we will be using a promptful file, right? But the test cases we use will be very robust. We'll construct it very robustly because we will actually be grading you with it, right? So we will give you questions that are within the time range. That's one check we will see. And we will also check and see, if the assertions are correct, that these things are exactly how we expect it to come.
Also,
and we will do our own in-house testing first before we actually evaluate you against our promptful file. So don't worry too much about the particular test cases in this public promptful file that was shared.
Okay.
Yeah, because we are running the same public promptful file that was shown on project page. We have not done anything new to it. Only thing is we have configured it correctly. That's the only difference. But you didn't.
Because the curl command seemed to be working fine.
Yeah, so don't worry about it. Right? Just be chill, man. It'll be okay.
Last time experiences were not so good. Semi extract full and everything.
Yeah. No, it'll be fine. As long as some cases are working, then it'll be fine. We will our new YAML file that we will use, promptful YAML file will be very robust. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Sir, actually, I have a doubt. Like in TDS website, if I do the check all option, once it's what to say, it's coming as correct within 13 seconds, and sometimes it's taking about 50 seconds, and sometimes beyond that too. Will it cause any problem in my project?
Okay, can you just repeat that slowly again? Because I was trying to follow what you're saying. Can you repeat that again?
Sir, that is whenever I go to the submission portal, that is where we are submitting our links for repository as well as our deployed endpoint.
Yeah. Okay.
When I do the check call, my repo is getting checked within 2-3 seconds. And after that, my endpoint, sometimes it's taking about 30 seconds to check it. So, and after that, it's getting correct. Sometimes it's taking about 1 minute also to getting the fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
Actually, what is the maximum time, sir, actually, so that we can get the check?
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Fine.
It should be up and running within 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
What deployment solution you used?
I used Render.
Okay, yeah. As long as it launches within 2 minutes, that's fine.
Yes, sir.
Just make sure when you hit the submit button that it quote unquote passes both the test cases. I mean, now I don't want to call them test cases, but that it says that your submission has been accepted. As long as you get 2 marks, I think it gives you like 2 marks, right?
So I have to get 2 marks within 2 minutes. That's a checkpoint, right?
It doesn't matter how long it takes. Make sure you get the 2 marks. That's the point.
Yeah. Fine,
yeah.
Sir.
If it got you the 2 marks, then fine. Don't resubmit or anything. Leave it at that.
Actually, I already scored 2 marks in that. So I'm just thinking of should I do any new submission? So I can leave it.
No. Don't do any new submissions. Just leave it as, because we will just take the latest submission. That's the thing.
Fine, sir.
So if you submitted it once and it's fine, just leave it as is.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So will we be marked on our GitHub repo also, or only on the API endpoint?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand. Could you say that again slowly?
So like we have submitted our GitHub repository and also the API, the actual deployment link. So will we be marked on our GitHub repository as well, or only how well the API is working?
So there are 2 aspects to it. One is we will test your API endpoint with promptful. your GitHub repo should have the code that allows us to build your application as well. So the reason for that is there are some bonus marks that will be awarded, right? So we will award marks for those sorts of things. I mean, presumably you've written the program yourself, right? So, or with the help of some friends or something, right? But your GitHub repo should have your code to build the application that's running on the end.
And that application should be same as the deployed application. One student asked a similar question, Priyanshu sir.
Yeah.
So you can push some files, but not to that repository, Priyanshu.
And so you said that there is some logical error within my application itself. So like by application, do you mean uh, the entire directory, or like in app.py, or the specific file which I'm using?
So it's when I say logical error, it has to do with the how your RAG retrieval is being done. It's not retrieving from this description of the problem you gave. It's not retrieving an expected response, right? Either the cosine similarity is not working correctly, or your embedding has not worked correctly. Something along those lines, somewhere along those lines, something has gone wrong. So you'll have to check carefully those sections of your code.
Okay, sir.
That is by hearing your description of your problem.
Okay, sir. Sure, I'll check.
We have to upload all scraped JSON files. That kind of depends, right? I mean, scraped JSON files, I don't think so, because you will have anyway created, I believe, some markdown and some an embeddings file, right? So I don't think you need to upload your scraped JSONs. That won't be necessary.
Some hands raised, Shivans. Shivan?
Actually, the RAG component, till now, I have not been able to fix it. And I think that it would be really difficult for me. Can you please tell some from where can I like learn, and in this half an hour or 1 hour time can I fix it? In which video part? Because I watched all these thing sessions, and initially I was thinking that I'll be able to make that component work, but the RAG is still not working fine because my test cases are not passing.
You could, okay, if you're just concerned about how to do RAG properly, then you can use the video that's in the tools in data science website itself. You know, there's a particular section where they talk about how to do RAG and embeddings, right? Maybe just go over the technical details of how to do that over there.
One small doubt, one more thing that I have found this RAG thing very, like I found it little more difficult than regular things. So
Yeah.
is it actually difficult, or I am lagging on some prerequisites for RAG? You can suggest some.
It's not prerequisites. It's just you have to take the time to understand how it works, right? If you try and do this project at the last minute, it is going to be very difficult. You should spend at least a couple of days to understand how these things work and how these various components fit together, right? So that's why if you look at the time schedule, right, we did, so all these topics are actually week 3 topics, right? And this was released nearly 3 weeks ago. So if you didn't spend time in those 3 weeks really getting to understand the various topics carefully, then you will find it challenging at the last minute to build something with it. So that's the main issue you're facing at the moment, right? So I don't have any, but I mean, you might be able to ask some of your friends if they have a video or something that is worth watching with regards to that. The key aspect is you have to create some chunks, appropriately created chunks. That's the first art to it. If you don't create the chunks properly, then the RAG is not going to be very effective. So that's the first aspect of it. Then once you create the chunks, then the embeddings, the logic for it, how you do it, and all that has to be airtight, so that there is no problems in creating the embeddings and things like that. Then retrieving the embeddings, how you do that? That's a pretty straightforward function. You use a cosine similarity and check, and then you will identify the index of the embedding as well as the index of the chunk itself. They will be both the same, and then that you will provide as context to your LLM. So that's the typical workflow. But like I said, at the last minute, if you try to solve it, it will be difficult. So you could ask GPT to give you an explanation. So sometimes it can give you a good high level explanation of these things. So you can say, please give me a high level explanation. Then it will give you some bullet points or something. Then if there is a specific bullet point you want it to elaborate on, you can ask it to elaborate on that bullet point. And if you've got a paid for GPT subscription or something, you can even speak to it like a normal person, and it will speak to you and explain to you things as well. So that might be a way to rapidly get to the bottom of what's the issue with your RAG. Okay. I mean, I don't know what else. Do any of you other guys have any suggestions?
Yeah, I think the same thing. First, you should understand that what is RAG doing and how it is doing. As you can tell anyone that this is how AI works. So this is the first thing that you can ask to GPT to understand this. And the second thing, some prerequisite that you are talking, if you are facing issue in coding, then I think the Python you should know very well, and some basic thing that how API works. That's all.
You have only 2 more hours left. Even if you're a superhuman, and to get the RAG embeddings done and then get this project completed, it's very highly challenging. Even with even with years and years of experience in programming, you will find this section very challenging to get this done if you're very new to AI.
Creating embeddings itself takes a lot
Even
of.
if you know, then creating within 1 hour, it is difficult.
Embeddings create करना ही हालत होती हो जाएगी.
Now, one thing I will say is, even if you are not able to submit project 1, okay, don't give up, because project 2 will also again contain lot of LLM based encoding. Okay, so you better get used to how it works. And like Mohammed said, and he made a very good point, that this concept is very new. Okay, so a lot of people, even in industry, they are all for the first time experiencing this new kind of workflow or this new way of thinking about applications. At the end of the day, it is just a different modular functional way of doing things. But to get to that point of where you understand, okay, this is how it works, that takes some time. Okay. But don't give up. Try
Thanks,
and
sir, but
get it working.
Yeah. Try. I'll try till 11:30 for this thing.
Yeah. And then, like I said, even if you fail to get project 1 done, still in the next few days, work on it slowly and get to understand the concepts, because the skills you take from this will be much more worth than the grade you take from this, right? The skills you take from this, you will be able to use that in any job anywhere in this field. So that will be extremely valuable compared to the grade you get from TDS. So that's why don't give up. Okay, that's one.
Yeah, that was quite motivating, sir. Yeah, but I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
Let's see what
One thing, Sivan, you can do that means if you want to submit, I would say leave the embedding part and just implement the chat GPT and provide that, or maybe somewhat embedding.
I can't understand that completely. If I leave the embedding part and use the chat GPT, like how will that work?
At least you will learn that how to do that. Means I am saying that this is the 2-hour time, and the effort that you will do in this 2-hour time will be the effort that you have not done in the whole 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So it will be beneficial if you try your best rather than giving up.
Okay, I understood. Thanks, sir.
Yes, Aryan.
Hello, sir. Actually, like I completed my project, I am on deployment level. So I tried render and some other websites, but it's giving me high CPU, exceeded size for that. So I am actually deploying through Enro. Is it fine?
Yeah, ngrok you can deploy. There is one problem with ngrok. Once you deploy it and give us your endpoint, you
Yeah.
cannot at all switch off that ngrok. Because if you switch off the ngrok or switch off your machine or restart your ngrok, you will get a different URL and it will not match the URL you send in the submission. So that is something to be aware of. That's why right at the beginning of a project itself, I've said ngrok is not the preferred solution. But that being said, some people are still doing it and that's fine. But just be aware that this will be an issue. So if you don't want that problem, I suppose you could pay ngrok for 1 month and then you can retain the same URL. So that will cost you some money, but that way you can ensure that the ngrok URL remains consistent.
Okay, and can I know like how much time, after this deadline, how much time will it take to evaluation, or isn't not coming?
We haven't yet made a decision on that, but it will be soon. Once we start the evaluation window, we will send out a mail saying, please keep your service running. We will be running evaluations from this time to this time or something like that. And that's what I would suggest.
Sir, I have
But yeah,
improved. Sir, I have added codes in my file, and the error right now is that when the portal is sending the request to the endpoint, it is getting an error from the aipipe.org because my quota is expired. So I think it will get once it will get renewed, my code will work properly. Can I submit
yes,
it as it is? I mean, like even if it says fail to fetch, if I submit it, it won't be an issue, right, sir?
fail to fetch will be an issue, but AI pipe errors are okay because, but make sure you get the 2 marks is what I'm saying.
Sir, I have confirmed it with, I mean, like everything, and ChatGPT also says that the error is not in the codes, but the thing is that the endpoint is getting an error while fetching with the embeddings. I have added the codes part, I mean, like the codes middleware,
Yeah.
but it is still says fail to fetch, right? So
Oh, it still says
I
fail
don't
to fetch.
understand. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So yeah. So I was saying,
When I asked the ChatGPT
if
about
you
the
are
reason, it says that yes, sir.
if you are not able to submit it, then what you can do is for now just when you are submitting, do one thing: hard code the response such that in the response, in the JSON response, answer is there and link is there. So these two things must be there. Okay, then
Sir, I don't need to
the
hard
portal
code this.
will consider it as valid submission.
Sir, I don't need to hard code this. Already, my endpoint always returns an answer and a link. It's just even if there is an error in the API.org, the error that it sends is also in the form of answer and link. But there is no link, and the answer says that the API key is, I mean, like expired, or there are too many
Okay.
requests.
Okay, when you are getting now you're getting this error of API quota exhaust. So what exactly comes in response? Is there answer and links key present in the JSON response?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a proper JSON response which says that something went wrong. You can retry later, and then the error is placed there in answer, and also the link is there, but there is no link in that link. You can confirm it. I can give you the URL. You can confirm it by giving a curl command.
Can you send it via mail to me?
Sir, am I speaking to Jivraj sir, right?
Yes, yes.
Sir, I'm sending you on your, like chat.
All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay, if there are no more questions, I'll just get back to what Tanya was asking earlier. It was Tanya, right?
Sir.
About your YAML file, right? You were
Yes.
not sure you understood how the YAML file. Let me see if this comes. Just 1 second.
Sir, there is a small question that I have. Can I ask for you?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, ask.
Sir, our GitHub repository and the deployed app link are going to remain the same even after we submit the link of GitHub and like I'm using render for deployment. So even after I submit render and GitHub link and after the deadline passes, even after that, if you make changes to it, the link will remain the same. So after submission deadline, but before evaluation, we are able to correct the code.
So
That's
if you make any,
the
so if you make any corrections after you submit the after the deadline passes, we are able to see that you have made changes, right? Because we will have your GitHub repo, and it will tell us all the changes you're making.
right.
So we would know that. That's the whole point of submitting the GitHub repo.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, because it keeps a history of every minute
Yes.
change you do. Even if you do like one letter change, also it will tell us.
But
Yes.
sir, I'm submitting a different repo for the Versal deployment and a different repo for all the, like, cause it was too heavy for the Versal, so I just put
Yeah,
like two
correct.
Git.
Yes, correct. But remember, I said as long as the GitHub repo is a superset of your Versal deployment, then that's fine.
Okay, like from that URL you will get to know about the GitHub. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, Tanya, just to reiterate what I was saying earlier. So the main issue with the YAML file, okay, or rather promptful. So promptful is an application that's been created to do some testing on API endpoints that are running some sort of application, okay, and they will have some inbuilt or pre-built configurations, okay, for using LLMs. So some of the plugins they will have a plugin for OpenAI, they will have a plugin for Gemini, they will have a plugin for Anthropic, like that for several well-known providers. They will have some configuration already done for that, okay,
Yes, sir.
including the key that is used. So I think for OpenAI it will be like Open AI underscore API key or something like that, right? So this is typically how the promptful file configuration will be. Now the issue is when you're using the free token that we have given. Okay, we are providing a custom service. Okay, which is I'll say I'll use a different color for this. So we're using a custom service called AI Proxy. Okay. Now AI Proxy will generate its own key. Okay. But the functions of AI Proxy, the way we have done it, is it will actually give you all the services of OpenAI, but it has its own custom configuration, right? The first thing being the endpoint. So the endpoint for OpenAI is different, and it's inbuilt into the promptful file because it's a well-known company, whereas it doesn't know the configuration for AI proxy. So there is in the promptful documentation, there is a section where you can go, and if you type the keyword LLM-rubric, it will tell you how to configure it so that you can give your own custom AI providers. And the thing that you have to configure is you have to first of all tell it the endpoint it needs to reach. So that endpoint documentation is given in the TDS website. So there is a section where it says for AI proxy, this is the documentation. You have to find that URL, and it will say something like AI proxy something.com / v1 embeddings, like that, something and all will be there, right?
Yes.
So it will have its own URL because it's a provision that we have created. So
Yes.
that is one thing you have to change. But the benefit is you don't have to change this environment variable because we are kind of using the same environment variable in order to access the what you call for the token from your system. So that is the main reason why it's not working for you. Your configuration is not correct, and we will, after the deadline passes, we will share with you what the correct configuration file is. But as an exercise, Professor Anand wanted students to learn how to configure things for themselves. So that's why we cannot share with you a proper configuration file. But the flip side of it is we also expect you to collaborate with others. So there are others who got it working, right?
Yes.
The key in TDS, one of the main goals in TDS is to give you projects that are challenging, very challenging to do by yourself, but pushes you to actually collaborate with others so that you learn from others. And collaboration is a very big key part of TDS. If you collaborate, we have consistently seen that those who collaborate with others have better outcomes in TDS. So even if for us, right, as a instructor and TDS and TAs in this course, right, we are also constantly learning new things. A lot of this technology is very new also for us. So what we do is we sit down together and we work together to create solutions and figure out what's wrong and why it's going wrong. If we sat by ourselves and did it, it would take us forever and a day, right? So, but because we sit together and we work on it together, something that, for example, I'm not able to figure out, suddenly Hrithik may say, hey, have you considered this? Or if something Jivraj is not able to figure out and I'm able to figure out, I'll say, hey, have you considered this? That makes our workflow faster and we all learn from each other. So that's the same thing we expect you to do. So that's what I would say in a nutshell. But your main problem is with this configuration file, right? So if you go to the documentation for promptful, you'll be able to solve this issue. We also, by the way, we also had the same problem ourselves and took us roughly about 50 minutes to figure out the configuration correctly for this.
Okay, sir. And sir, I am getting correct output using curl command.
Okay, that's good. If you're getting correct output using curl command, and if you're getting correct output using, so for example, you can use the endpoint that Jivraj has provided. He has created a little application. I think you've seen it earlier, right? Use that, give your key to that application, and it will test it out for you. So you don't have to worry about configuring promptful. But as an exercise, at some point in your life, in the next sort of couple of weeks, you should try and learn to use
Yes, sir. I will try this.
Yeah, because it is very valuable thing to learn.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
So that's it. I think we can probably wind up this session. We can take maybe one more question if there is a quick question.
Can we discuss testing with promptful after the evaluation of the project happens?
Yeah. After project finishes, we will couple of things we will provide you. We will provide you the exact promptful file that we used. We'll also provide you the responses we got from your endpoint to the promptful file. So we'll provide you very detailed analysis. and then if you got some doubts after that, we can discuss it.
Honestly, I'm not wanting to change anything in my project right now because I'm getting call command responses.
Yeah.
There's no point changing anything at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's risky. What you can do is you can clone the project and test it on Jivraj's endpoint. So then you can do changes to your heart's content, right?
Yeah, later maybe. Yeah, but I can clone, but I'll just do it later maybe when I have
Yeah.
your promptful file.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everyone. I think that's about it.
Suhani has a question.
Sir, I have just one small question. In the grading document, it's written that the projects will be evaluated on an 80-20 basis, where 80% marks will be given by the instructors on the evaluation and 20% are peer reviews. So
Okay,
is
that
there
is
an error in the grading?
no. Yeah, that is. I don't know where you got that. I'll just have a quick look at the
It's
grading document.
the grading document, yes.
Oh, I pulled up the wrong one. May 25. Data science.
Sir, I've
Okay.
pasted it in the chat.
Yeah. I've seen it. Yeah, that's not accurate. Okay, it's just a mistake in the grading document. It will be completely evaluated via programmatically. It will be evaluated, and if there is a subjective evaluation, an LLM grader will evaluate it. So it will still be subjective in that sense, but it will be done by an LLM rather than a human being. If the
Okay, sir.
evaluation is a subjective evaluation.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks everyone. Have a good night and all the best. And we'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you. Bye.